Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bold analysis. Some few days ago, there was something trending in Twitter on the capital gains rate that had been increased from 5% to 15%. And while some people in the real estate and investments were actually complaining, their position was that as much as government is taking taxes, the services are actually going down. By the way, on Sunday Nation Monday, there was a story that the government wants to reduce, or this administration wants to reduce the social protection fund, that pesa wazee, by three by a third, reduce it to a third. From the 100%, it is going to be reduced by 75%. In short, if you're getting 2,000, then it's like you're going to get 500. And so, they've been that scared that there is a snarl up of activities. In fact, recently, someone also sent me a text message that I was forced to cancel flights because of visa problems. I think I have it in my WhatsApp. Let me just look at it. Yes, one of our subscribers here. I hope I'm going to get it. Yes, Gertrude. She said, "Good afternoon, Kevin. Immigration, the system is down. People are not getting passports. Even emergency cases, guys are forced to cancel flights. They don't have plan B." Okay, I have not tried flying any time. The last time I tried was in 2020, and I was going to Tanzania. Yes. If you tried and you got a problem, can you tell us what exactly is going on? LSK President Eric Theory did a tweet about snarl-up in the Ministry of Lands, and that then reminded me that there seems to be a problem. I want us to look at the tweet he made. He said, "Advocates across the 8 LSK branches will hold a peaceful protest on March 20th, 2023, on 20th January 2023, against delays, inefficiencies, and collapse of services across the land registry. Members of the public are invited to join. The route and details will be shared." Ahmed Nasir, he tagged Ahmed Nasir and William Ruto. Is saying that lawyers want to protest against the snarl-up or inefficiencies and collapse of services across the lands registry. And I have realized that many people, and by the way, you can tell us what's your experience recently with the services. This will also help. Some of these things may be happening and the administration doesn't know. It will also help other people to know what Kenyan people are saying. So tell us what's going on, or your experience when you are first, maybe the challenges that you went through when looking for a government service. Now, after I went through the comment section, I was shocked that one of the replies came from the first reply came from Ahmed Nasir. He said, "Good, Mr. President, but we should do the same against the judiciary. The entire court system has collapsed completely." Then he tagged Kenyan judiciary. Today's date 17, so if this is to be realized, then it's the next 3 days. First, 20th January, a protest over what's happening in the Ministry of Lands. And that's a bit of ironical, because while LSK can be a neutral body, but it's also a body that is represented in some panels, especially selection panel on the IBC. And recently, they also challenged the composition of the cabinet, that was named by William Ruto, basis on the regional representation, even though they lost the case because there is no rule that says that. And you can give it to this. Ahmed Nasir is a lawyer who is close and has really been seen close to the administration. But then he has he has been consistent on the state of service delivery especially on the matters of the judicial service system, or rather the criminal justice system. He has been so categorical, poking holes into the leadership of the CJ, Martha Koome, even though politically they were sitting comfortable. But he's been lethal on this. What is coming out here is that things are going on, and of course, protest. There is nothing wrong with protest, because protest is one tool of putting government into check. And I just want to move a bit further. Some 2 months ago, I did an analysis, and I think that's the one you're seeing in the title. For those who watched that analysis, I talked about a clip, this clip here. This is a clip about something I wanted to see.
Si utume kwa account. Nimekuja kwa gazeti ya kupata, tuma kwa account. Oh. Tuma kwa account. Sai. Si utume kwa account. Nimekuja kwa gazeti ya kupata, tuma kwa account. Oh. Tuma kwa account. Sai.
Now, if you're keen, you'll realize that that clip was about it was on a Saturday, and these files were being moved faster. I remember government officers doesn't work on Saturdays. Mostly they work half day on special occasions. And it was some bit of some conspiracy trying to move it. So that's why I acknowledge that in that land registry, there seems to be a problem. Now, if you check the LSK president's tweet and look at the replies, you'll see the way Kenyans are really revealing, talking much about how they have suffered in the hands of different ministers, including this one. So, and while there could be calls for president to come in, swing into action, but there is also a scare that if he micromanages that, it may not be good. But I've always said that one of the ministry sector that really have a pool of cartels is that one, and it's a very critical one if you're given. In fact, as a ministry, ukipewa hiyo lanza, I'm telling you, hapo kuna kuwa shida. Now, this was my comment on this by that time. Why do you think that the files that are being moved, okay, by the way, we are not sure that they are files, but they are documents. Is there a difference between documents and files? You can see that from the video, whatever is being moved in that track are actually some documents. So what is the necessity of moving those files on a weekend, on Saturday? And the question is, government offices don't work on Saturday unless on special occasions, special arrangements. But the truth of the matter is that government offices don't work on the weekend. So what is the necessity that they're being moved? So guys, from what you can see here, the trajectory of protests over government failure is something that can be a big blow to this administration, even though it's also a tool to be used in opposition. It's a tool used very well to play opposition politics. We know that as things stand now, Raila Odinga, who was seen on, and initially Kenyans really vouched for him to put government in check, and I agree that while president doesn't accept or doesn't really embrace the handshake environment, or rather the handshake arrangement, but I believe not about the handshake, but the need to bridge the gaps between the tribe cannot be underestimated. I'm still standing, even if Ruto Raila will not be viable. Even if you can't have Ruto Raila, which is fine, but don't destroy Raila Uhuru. Ruto Raila is not very harsh. The one that really changed the trajectory, that really changed this country, is that of Raila and Uhuru. It's historic from back then in the days of independence. It's historic. And when you maintain that, I can tell you the politics of this country can be controlled, will be controlled really well. So this will be a big blow because people will not want, President will not want protests in this. But I don't know why it's a problem, because when you watch CNN and the international media houses, I think, is it Israel or Iran and Brazil? Every single day, in fact, when you watch those international media outlets, you cannot miss a bulletin without a protest somewhere. And not necessarily in Africa, actually in those other Caucasian countries. So it's a tool that has successfully been used. And what would really scare maybe the people in charge will be that it can be hijacked by the political class. You know, LSK have said lawyers in different branches to have peaceful procession, and they are also inviting members of the public. Members of the public, if such protest gets the nod and it gets the support of the political, because lawyers cannot mobilize, but the political class can mobilize, then it can be hijacked, charged to charge the masses. And when the masses are charged, it will not be about the lands. It will be about overall government failure in service delivery. There seems to be a feeling like things are not going on well. And if an opportunity comes to question, people ask the question now. High volatile accountability checks can put Ruto cabinet on toes. Yes, it can put. I want to say a very personal submission. Moses Kuria is working. In William Ruto's cabinet, a man that has really proved us wrong, because when he came in, he came in with a lot of baggage as a politician, with a lot of political baggage, and got himself into the GMO discussion. But I think after being reprimanded, that man is silently working. You will not see Moses Kuria into these other dramas. And I think he has gone back, rolled back the sleeves, and he seems to be a man who is working. Now, this can be ploy, and I can see maybe they are there. Someone is asking a very wild question that, Kevin, could we still also be asking these questions as we try to pull people, push people out? Would president be then a necessity? Can this bring a necessity to reshuffle the cabinet? It will be too early, but then I think I support the fact that if people can come out and ask questions, the accountability card is what I agree will make William Ruto deliver. But on delivery, it's not only pegged on this. The intention must be clear from the office bearers.